Not so quiet, doesn't say much more. And then I'll start asking a few questions. You should find out some interesting stories, some of which I won't repeat up here. Peasy was a rather energetic young lad in his early days. Played as a halfback in rugby league. Again, feel free to pull me up if I get my stories wrong. Was an avid surfer and surf skis until I believe. Yeah. As well as being very handy with a rifle. Yeah. My understanding he was a pretty good shot, and it wasn't uncommon for him and a young Pat Osborne to go out on shooting trips together. So you can guess when I get some of this info. There's also an unfortunate story I discovered involving potty calves at a rodeo in Gundawindi, but I'm not going to go there because I don't want to embarrass him. So, he can tell you that one. He can tell you that one. He's slowed down a bit nowadays, and rather than surfing, you'll most likely find him tinkering with his camping trailer, travelling and fishing. I believe you actually built a camping trailer yourself, yeah? And took it as far as Lake Eyre and right up to the tip of Cape York. So, you know, it's great. One story gives a bit of insight into Noel as a person, and I thought this was fantastic. Was from back in 1974. Noel was living at the Woogaroo Caravan Park at the time of the flood, and in an unselfish act went to the assistance of others to help tow caravans to safe ground as the floodwaters rose. And unfortunately, whilst he was helping others, his own van was actually lost to the fast rising floodwater. Yeah, true. Yeah. So yeah, that's a reflection on the man. So Noel originally worked at Hutton's at Oxley for about 10 years in the freezers, until he took a position as a forklift operator with Palmer Tube Mills, and he's never looked back since. Noel is one of the most trusted employees we have, and as such has spent much of his time in off-site warehouses, so unsupervised. Most, if not all, of these warehouses he has significantly contributed to the setup and organisation of, including our current operation at 103 Ingram Road. So Noel's previously been recognised as an exemplary employee at the site, and he continues to demonstrate that behaviour. So congratulations, mate. Glad to have you started.
Yeah, I've already told him off now.
No, she hasn't left yet, mate. All right. Okay. Bill, come on up. That's all, mate. Bring it in.
Know that I wrote this speech. Well, you know me, Nick, I will.
Bill's been at ZingTech from the very beginning. He started, was actually employed as a pod operator when ZingTech was actually still being installed. I think you said you were there for when they put the first lot of zinc in the pot, and I think there's one tube instance in 25 years, so big effort. Back in those days, safety was pretty much non-existent. Short singlets and runners were the uniform of the day. But after his first day over the pot, Bill decided that long pants were probably a better choice of uniform. The ZingTech team has worked hard though, and at one point Bill was telling me actually worked 12-hour shifts for 7 days a week, something like 3 months, which is just hard to comprehend that people can do that and still keep on going. So, ZingTech has a certain reputation over the years, as everybody here will know, with notorious beer walk a key element. The department is referred to as Drink Tech for a good reason. Wednesday night was darts night, and the team would often stay back until midnight playing darts and having a few beers, only to be back at work at 3 o'clock the next morning. So those days are long gone now, and the world's changed. But the close team dynamic still exists within that department, and it's very, very important. Bill is a real character, for all those who know him. He has a certain charm, only appreciated by those close to him, those who know him. He's never afraid of speaking his mind, and not always at the best moment. But behind the gruff facade is a man who genuinely cares for his team, and the dedication and commitment shown by the team is commendable. The culture in ZingTech is one to be admired, and much of this is attributable to Bill's honest devotion to the well-being of his people. ZingTech team is a fantastic safety record, and a little while ago I tried to look back through records and find out the last time we actually had a medical treated injury or a long time lost time injury, and we actually couldn't find one in records. So
May 21, 2009.
But honestly, for safety culture on site, they really are outstanding, and look after each other and treat each other like a family down there. And if we could replicate that in other areas of the business, we'd all be better off. So, I'll let you
Michael done a very good job on that. He added a little bit in, which is very good. It's good to see some people can think for themselves at times, isn't it?
All right, so while we're in ZingTech, Doug, going up. Nice swagger, Doug. Doug is a genuine hard worker. He's worked at ZingTech for over 20 years, and he's put in every day he's been there. He started as an operator, he's worked his way to a supervisor, and he's been a supervisor, I think, for over 10 years now in the department. Yeah. One of the stories I got Bill was about Duck was assisting Bill in replacing the forklift tine. So if you're doing something and they drop the tine off the front of the forklift.
Feel numb.
So Bill said, look, I'll be up at the front, I'll line it up and push it in, you lift it up for me, right? And these things are heavy, like the skills don't think at the bottom of the time. So Duck's under there trying to lift it up, and of course it all goes wrong. The forklift tine comes down, lands on his finger. Out of natural reaction, he rips his finger out from underneath it, leaves half the skin under there, so he's got this severely lacerated, nasty wound on his finger. Okay, so Bill gets sent off to the hospital, and allegedly you drove yourself. I'm not sure if that was true.
They're lucky that the cop didn't stop me, and I put it all the way from the
So Bill's back at work going, okay, fine, he's gone. After an injury like that, he's gone for the next few days. So he reorganises everything, organises his shift so they can actually keep operating. And lo and behold, about 2 hours later, Duck turns back up with his finger heavily bandaged, going, okay, I'm back, what do you want me to do? Ready to go back to work. So, there's not many guys who would actually show that level of dedication. Duck's also done his best to keep Bill in line over the years. Tried. So Bill was struggling somewhat with this new age smoking policy that didn't allow him to smoke at his desk, which seemed terribly unfair. And so Bill would frequently smoke there if he thought he could get away with it. Duck, of course, knew this wasn't right, and raised the issue with the current manager, which I think was at the time was Vic Patterson. Yeah.
Used to be the one ashing in the ashtray as well.
A little did Duck know that Vic used to sit down there with Bill and smoke with him. but in the end, it did the job. Yeah? And Vic sort of said to Bill, oh, geez, we better pull out a race in again if my employees were actually pulling us up. So. As well as a full-time job, Duck also runs a restaurant at Holland Park. And I'm going to give you a free plug here, mate.
Yeah, right.
So, the Thai Flavour, authentic Thai restaurant, okay? 33941699.
Thank you, baby.
I'm sure he carries around business cards, loyalty cards for him if you're interested, and comes highly recommended. So after a full day's work, he's going to working all night at the restaurant and never fails to turn up to work again the next day.
So I didn't write this one.
No, you didn't write that, but I haven't done that one. So Duck is extremely competent, hard-working employee. If Bill's away, I can always rely on Duck to run the department, and I'd like to thank him for the years of dedication he showed the business. So.
No worries.
Thank you. Okay.
Right, mate.
Ooh, we're just about done.
We've got one more.
Okay.
Just about one more.
We've got one more.
One more.
Yeah, I can be bossy till the end.
I'm sure you will be. Okay. Marty, come on, Nance. Yeah, tonight was the first night. I didn't even know you were called Martin until today.
Đấy là còn 20 năm.
Alright. Marty started his career at Port Kembla Steelworks. Yeah, that's right. Don't worry, Marty told me my assistant mate, yeah, that was great. Where he completed his apprenticeship as a boilermaker welder. He stayed there for 10 years and decided to move, and the job failed to provide the challenges he sought. He relocated to Queensland and tried to get a job as a boilermaker with Palm Tube Mills, but when no positions were available, he took on a role as an entry operator to the mill. Didn't take long for Marty to become a mill operator, and within 1 year he was actually training other operators into the role. It was no surprise then that when a supervisor's role became available, Marty applied and was successful. It was literally a baptism of fire though, as within the first week there was a fire in the sawed house and the mill had to shut down for 3 days.
Very first day.
Very first day. Over the years, Marty's worked in most areas of the operation, including zip tech and slitter. In 2006, Marty was asked to join the team at LSB to give some support to the team trying to get this very innovative but difficult product through the mill. This was a great move, I believe, by the business, as Marty's been referred to as a technical whiz kid of Geisha Ridge, and his knowledge and expertise went a long way in taking LSB from a developmental trial to a legitimate commercial product. Without his input, there's a good chance that the LSB mill wouldn't be operating the way it is today. So Marty's contribution has been recognised by the business. He's been flown to the USA twice to assist with the setup of the US LSB operation and to train the supervisors in how to manufacture this this challenging product. Along with his career achievements, Marty's found time to be a new athletics coach with the Lakenham Sharks, and actually helped his son achieve at a state representative level. He loves his fishing and motorbike riding, but unfortunately, like many of us, actually doesn't get enough time to do either of those things. So, well, every time I spend time with Marty up at LSB, I feel like I'm a bit of a school kid. I feel like I'm going up there for a lesson. So, and every time I walk out of there, I walk out with just a little bit more knowledge than when I went in, and that's fantastic. And people with that knowledge really need to be valued within our business and appreciated, and you certainly are. So, thank you. I believe it, thank you.
Nhiều.
Chưa là bột.
Michael Thompson.
M2, M1 and M2.